Good evening and a pleasant welcome to another edition of Light Talk Business on the Rahim Show. And as you all know, I'm your host, Ricky Ali. I want to welcome my viewer on Facebook and YouTube. I want to say thanks for stopping by to be a part of our show tonight. We're going to share the number momentarily. You can call and be a part of the discussion tonight. So as you all know, Light Talk Business is actually designed to help most of our business people out there, especially those who are into small businesses, to just provide them with a lot of tips and information to help them succeed. So tonight, just for a short time, we're going to dive into so much things to help business people who are already into business, and some folks who are making that decision to get into business. So we want to welcome our viewer once again. This is the Rahim Show, and as you all know, I am your host, Ricky Ali. So you see, one of the things I tell people who want to get into business, three things you have to ask yourself. And those three things are very simple. Are you a self-motivated person? Are you resourceful? Or are you willing to take a calculated risk? So if you can answer these three questions, then this podcast tonight is meant for you, because I'm going to go through a lot of things, and I don't want you to get confused, because we're going to share the number momentarily so that you can be able to be part of the discussion tonight. So it's important that when we talk about business, what do you know about business? Business is very important because it's like you are doing it at your own pace, and it's so good and to the point where you are your own boss. See, you are not being controlled by anybody, but it's also come with discipline. You have to be, self-motivated. You have to be dedicated to the business. You have to, be resilient, because there are times, and you have to adapt to change, because the business right now, in our multi-world, it's not even stable. It's not even a stable business anymore, because a lot of things are, evolving, and changes are taking place every day. So you have to adapt to change. So it's very important. So for our viewer out there who are watching the show via Facebook and YouTube, I want to welcome all of you to the Rahim Show. Tonight we are discussing how you can succeed, especially when you are a small business person. How do you succeed by being a business owner? So the first three questions I would like to address before I get into detail about what we are discussing tonight is, are you a self-motivated person? Especially for some of you who want to start a business. Are you a self-motivated person? Are you a resourceful person? Because, a lot of times we want to get into business, but we are not financially disciplined. And that's when it becomes a problem, because you cannot be somebody who is not financially disciplined and you want to get into business. Then it becomes a difficult journey for you. You have to be disciplined when it comes to finance, because obviously when there is no business, you're not going to eat all the money. You're going to bear things. You're going to work according to how the business is playing out. You're not going to get frustrated and break the business down. Then you are not being consistent. So that's why I'm saying, are you resourceful? And then secondly, you have to be resilient. Understand that these things that you're doing, you have to have passion. It's very important to have passion, because if you don't have passion about the work you do, and also you got to understand the market, the people that you are, trying to offer whatever service or whatever business you're trying to get into, you have to understand that, you have to take into consideration the market, because the customer is the most important people because they are the most important stakeholder of the business. And you want to prioritize them, because the more you think about the customer, the more you retain the customer you already have, then you are being able to create a unique selling proposition that will trigger other customers to come. So it's very important, and you're willing to adapt to different changes that take place. So it's very important that you be mindful. So those three questions, if you are able to answer the question, then you can do a lot more when it comes to business. So are you self-motivated? Do you see yourself as somebody who can climb up the ladder, or do you just see yourself, oh, I can make it, because business comes with self-discipline. If you're not disciplined, don't get into business, because there are times you won't make profit. There are times you will even, let's say, do business at a loss. So are you willing to go through all the calculated risks? Because there are also risk factors. You put your money somewhere, and then at the end of the day, you don't even get anything. So that's a risk factor about business. So if you are able to answer the question, then this podcast tonight is meant for you. So we're going to dive through many things here tonight to help, because our goal on the Rahim Show is to make sure that we provide, important tips to people who are into business and people who are contemplating, about getting into business. So some of our advices are very, very important, because it helps, to add some knowledge to your, already knowledge to build your business, because the goal here is to make sure that you succeed in whatever business you do. So for our viewer out there, this is the Rahim Show. We are discussing another edition of Light Talk Business, and we are discussing how do you succeed, pay your small business that you're doing. How do you succeed in that area, and by being a good business owner? So that's what we are discussing. We're going to share the number momentarily so you can be able to call. So one great way to succeed is to be an active listener. Listen to your customer. Every business that you see people doing today, for instance, if there is no customer to buy that business, then there is no point of even establishing the business. Yep. All business is established for something. All business. It's the same way when you buy a rental house, right? You buy the house for people to move in, right? Yeah. So it's the same thing. You don't buy a rental house for you to divide yourself into several parts and live in no rental house. No. You buy a rental house so that people can come and rent. So it's the same thing with business. When you prioritize your customer is the main reason why you get into business. Without a customer, there will be no business. So you got to understand that the customers are the most important stakeholder. So what do you do? We said the three important things that you got to take into consideration before you get yourself into business, and also if you are in business, to consider is you have to be self-disciplined, and you have to be resourceful, and then also you have to take into consideration there is a calculated risk. Business comes with risk. There are times you will take a huge sum of money and buy things, and you don't even get profit. You don't even get profit. So it's very important for you to understand these three things. Then another thing you have to consider here is what we are saying here. To succeed, you got to be an active listener. Listen to your customer, because that is how you work on things. That is how you even improve from your customer, feedback. So most of the time, especially people who are into product business, if you are selling things and you realize that at a certain point you are not selling as compared to the way you started selling, then there is a need for you to see whether customer is now withdrawing from buying your product, or something is going wrong. So that's when you have to see how best you can come up with certain campaign to draw customer back, to create that trigger for customer to come back. So the customer are the most important people. So that's why I say you have to adapt to change, and those changes takes place when you realize that customers, are the most important people, and whatever feedback they give has the ability to make you to improve on that feedback, to see what was lacking or what you did not do that you need to do to be able to satisfy the customer. Because when you satisfy one customer, that one customer has the, you know, the way of going to tell the other, a person about your product. See? When you satisfy a customer, that customer will go and tell somebody, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? That customer will take the good things that they have experienced, the good experience, from your product, and go and tell somebody. And that is how other people come to try the product today. You begin, to get more customers. So it's very important to prioritize a customer, because without customer, there is no business. All the businesses you see around the world today. Imagine if there were no customer to buy the business, even the gas station. If there were no car going to the gas station to buy a gas, there won't be a gas station. So every business is established for somebody to come and buy. So if you don't prioritize those people who come and buy, then it becomes a problem. So the customer is very important. And then, like I said, you have to adapt to change. Adaptability and resilience also play a factor in helping you to succeed. You have to adapt because changes take place. There are times, because of social media and a lot of things today, changes are taking place. People are using social media to do business. People are using different means, different, channel to do business or so. So it's very important for you to adapt to the change. If you just want to be on that one traditional, way of doing business, I tell you, you'll be left behind. But when you adapt to change, as things improve, technology add, you're flowing with that, then you will certainly succeed. So it's very important. And another thing is customer focus. Like we said, understanding your customer need and provide excellent service to build loyalty and drive what? Repeat business. See? When you understand your customer needs, and you provide the excellent services or the product that they need, it drives what? Repeated business. Then you become successful in your business because you have more customers. And that is how all the people you see around the world trying to do everything. The last time I had one of my podcasts, I mentioned about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett said it plain blank. So without a customer, there won't be no business. Everything we're doing today, even to business, when you're selling something, you're selling those things for somebody to come and buy. So imagine if you're selling something and nobody come to buy it. I mean, what your business would be. So you got to understand that it is very important for you